This week, the Queen's 90th birthday celebration, the FA Cup final, and Eurovision. Hello and welcome to 24/7, the show where there are 24 minutes and 7 seconds of highlights from the previous week. This week we start with events. Now, last weekend it wasn't the Queen's official birthday, nor was it her actual birthday, so ITV decided to celebrate her 90th. Now, their answer to Hugh Edwards was Alan Titchmarsh, rather brilliantly, and he was introducing the guests.
Prince Alexandra, Prince William, Her Royal Highness Princess Donatus of Hesse.
Well done if you got that at home. Now, who else was there?
And Prince Donatus of Hesse, the Landgrave of Hesse.
Who are these people?
To the Duchess of Cambridge.
Now, over the course of the night, the Queen's life was portrayed in various scenes, some of which involved things she wasn't particularly interested in, like Gary Barlow, and others involved various horses. Now, over 900 horses were claimed, but I wasn't convinced they were all real. Well, that's not fooling anyone. There were various interviews with various people who knew the Queen, and we learned some interesting things.
And she went as a transport driver and mechanic. She claims she can still change a carburettor on a 5-tonner.
Amazing! It's Top Gear! Tonight, the Queen fixes an engine. Prince Philip tries his motorbike, and Camilla gets offered a kebab.
Oh, thank you.
Now, if that was a real show, of course, it'd be on BBC One, not BBC Two. Now, also, I was quite distracted by that family trying to move their yacht in the background of this shot without the band noticing.
Oh no, look, there's an orchestra going on, oh no.
You would have had to come through this time, wouldn't you? Be quiet, just be quiet. Pretend we're not here, pretend we're not here. Look, they're looking other way, look. Oh, that's it, quiet.
Oh, I knew we shouldn't have gone this way.
Now, the evening was rounded off by a performance from the Queen's favourite pop star of the moment, Jess Glynn, and I couldn't help but notice that the orchestra conductor didn't have much to do in this track, and so rather than just stand still, he decided to squeeze his trousers in time with the music. What is he doing? Brilliant. On the whole, though, the Queen seemed to enjoy the night, certainly more so than that pop concert in 2012. We all remember Grace Jones there. Last Sunday morning saw the second edition of new ITV political discussion programme Peston on Sunday. Robert was joined by Labour leader and fellow geography teacher Jeremy Corbyn and professional smoker Nigel Farage. Jeremy's discussion in the headmaster's office covered various topics, including the recent election results and comments on anti-Semitism and terrorist extremism.
But you are opposed to Hamas and Hezbollah?
Of course, I'm opposed to them, and I made that very clear. I have met them. Indeed, I've met many organisations with whom I profoundly disagree, either with their aims or their methods or their objective.
We met the Tories for a start, but anyway, Robert is joined by ITV national editor Allegra Stratton, who has an exciting, if underused, whizzy screen.
And this one here, this tweet to us, is from Nicola Sturgeon this morning. She's just about to go to an official engagement. Anyway, this is what they don't look hugely comfy, but nor do mine. No woman should ever be told
Oh, I
what
get
they
it now, you're
can
drawing
or
those
can't
lines
wear,
on. Following his chat with old Farage, I noticed that Robert had managed to develop a fantastic new technique of turning the page of a newspaper with his foot.
Welcome back to Peston on Sunday. Now, possibly because I'm a mess of neuroses, I've never really had time to worry about what it is to be a man. But I'm increasingly unusual.
How did you do that?
It's an important issue whether masculinity needs to be redefined.
And all that masculinity chat in his book club had brought out a whole new side to it.
I'm off for a facial and a wax.
Blimey, keep it to yourself, Robert. Now, this is a bit of an anomaly in the ITV schedule for me, or is it part of some new look they've got?
The Jeremy Kyle Show is coming up next.
Back to normal. We're around on the week's news now, starting with this fantastic cock-up. Security officials were made to look rather foolish last weekend as a suspect package, which caused the postponement of Manchester United's final match of the season, turned out to be a training device which had not been recovered. Meanwhile, the BMA and government negotiators finally agreed a deal in the row over junior doctors' contracts. There was also a fantastic rant on Newsnight.
What you're trying to do in this studio is that on the one hand there's this awful lot, on the other hand there's this awful lot. We at the BBC are fantastically moderate and impartial. It's absolute nonsense, and you are playing it up. The BBC is part of the problem. I know what you're doing. What you're doing is creating a false dichotomy between one lot of people are telling lies and another lot of people are telling lies.
Said you're
I'm making a judgment. Let's make a judgment about which ones are telling the worst lie.
On Thursday, contact was lost with Egypt Air's flight MS-804 towards the end of its journey from Paris to Cairo. The French president has since confirmed it crashed into the sea. And it was the ceremonial state opening of Parliament once more, featuring a Queen's speech with key points, including prison reform. Now, has that bloke finished shouting yet?
So is it okay to say that Baghdadi supports the European Union and that ISIS are supporting the Remain campaign, and it's perfectly normal to say World War III will break up?
It's still going.
Look, there is a sort of basic level of public debate which the Remain side, your lot, are failing or breaking down on.
Last Saturday, it was Eurovision.
Okay, we're up and running. These small dandelion spores, they go through the thing and then they create one big dandelion, because the theme this year is
dandelion. So come together.
I'd like to be in that meeting, but there you go.
This year, the contestants were introduced next to some people wearing some ludicrous outfits.
Bulgaria, very popular with the Eurofans.
Actually, bought a hat off that company, look. After last Saturday, they're doing a roaring train. One of my mates actually wants to go to Ascot wearing this. This year's contest was held in Sweden and featured performances from Steve Jones, Laura Whitmore, and Saran Jones. The songs were as mixed as ever, the Dutch entry being particularly daring for stopping for 10 seconds about halfway through. Justin Timberlake was one of this year's acts, emphasising the ever-growing worldwide interest in the competition, and this is certainly the most international shop floor you're going to get. Now, he managed to do a little speech towards the contestants on the night, and they seem to be taking his advice like he was some sort of god.
So I know you must have been nervous tonight, but you all represented your countries so very well, and you should all be so very proud, and cheers to you, cheers to you.
He's certainly experienced his old Justin.
To all of you, I know what it's like to sing a song.
On the whole, though, after the new mega points system had given 7 points to Poland from the juries and 222 points to them from the public, we found a new winner in Jamala of Ukraine, whilst the UK finished a disappointing and unfortunate third bottom.
And we have a new winner of the Eurovision Song Contest 2016! It's Ukraine!
In a Saturday of big events, it was also the FA Cup final at its new and not at all improved time of 5:30. They were, however, trying to improve the spectacle this year, starting with a performance from Tiny Temper. Bit of a rap start there. Still, at least we had Bide With Me. Still, at least it was a football match coming up and we could belt out the national anthem. We've started to go and sing. Sing then. Microphone, sing. Sing. Now. Save the Queen. That one. No, wait. Oh. Took a while.
There's a lot of noise around the place. Very easy to miss your cue.
Brilliant. In the game itself, Jason Puncheon scored for Crystal Palace after 78 mediocre minutes.
That was well collected and brilliantly finished.
Something that certainly pleased manager Alan Pardew.
Oppan Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style.
He's going now.
However, his joy was short-lived as Juan Mata equalised for United just a couple of minutes later.
There's Mata. It's in. The Palace defenders just couldn't keep it out.
With the score at 1-1 and at nearly half-time in extra time, Chris Smalling became only the fourth person to ever be sent off in the FA Cup final.
He's going to get another. Manchester United are down to 10 players.
But that wasn't to deny Manchester United, as Jesse Lingard fired in a late winner.
Drills it in, fired in, rocketed in by Jesse Lingard. A kiss from Carrick, a kiss from Rooney, and a lift of the world's greatest cup for Manchester United. FA Cup winners 2016.
Quick check on the other sports news of the week, starting with Liverpool in the Europa League final. Liverpool began the final strongly with Sturridge curling in a beauty towards the end of the first half. The lead was quickly removed in the second half though, with a goal in under 20 seconds for Sevilla. With Liverpool now faltering and conceding 2 more goals before 70 minutes, Sevilla won their 3rd Europa League in a row. Andy Murray was more successful, defeating Novak Djokovic in straight sets to win the Italian Open. After the match, he was presented with the trophy and a birthday cake, seemingly made from sausages and gaffer tape. Meanwhile, at the Spanish Grand Prix, this crash between both Mercedes on the very first lap allowed Max Verstappen to become the youngest ever winner at the age of 18. And seeing was believing for the people of Leicester as their Premier League winning team and trophy was paraded through the city. There was also a horrifyingly outdated story in the world of golf. Muirfield Golf Club decided this week to retain their male-only membership policy, a decision about as off-target as this quality putt. Rather fantastically, within half an hour of the vote announcement, the R&A stated that the prestigious Open Championship would not be held at Muirfield until the situation was addressed.
The vote to deny women membership was close.
Let's analyse those numbers. The scores were 397 votes to allow women, 219 against, meaning that they missed their 2/3 requirement by a small margin. But let us not kid ourselves that this was the decision of golf or of Muirfield. This was the conscious vote of 219 real people, one of whom was this bloke.
So women can play as visitors, they can play as guests, but they cannot be members. It doesn't seem very fair.
Well, life isn't fair to a certain extent. Women are great in many ways, but this has been an exclusively male club since it predates the Battle of Culloden, and everyone gets on fine. And the fact of the matter is that women are more than welcome. And I can bring my young lady here to play 2 or 3 times a week.
I'd like to think he'd cringe when he watched that back, but I've got a funny feeling he won't. This week on Channel 5, they were channeling their inner Alan Partridge by airing Penguin A&E with Lorraine Kelly. Yes, it was an actual show. Yeah, it's interesting how much you got an accumulator bet going. Crocodiles better than humans in swamps, won that one. Budgies better than humans in cages, won that one. And just need penguins better than humans in South Africa to come off, and I'm fine.
But mankind was already here too, and when people and penguins fight over the same territory, the story is always the same. The penguins lose.
Oh, brilliant. Now, these workers might be good at helping penguins out in A&E, but they're not so good at hide and seek. I can see you. Now, of course, not. This was them checking a newly hatched penguin egg, and the programme certainly showed the serious side of the problems that penguins face, including the issue of sharks.
Vet Natasha is at the sharp end, dealing with terrible wounds to his neck.
There was a pleasing sense of realism with this show, though, as they certainly didn't have a happy ending for everything.
Sadly, that was one fight that was just too much, even for Tyson. At just past midday, he's pronounced dead.
And that wasn't the only one.
The staff feel the kindest thing is to put Toby to sleep.
In fact, for what I was expecting to be quite a light-hearted, fluffy programme, things started taking rather a deadly turn.
One nice wound here. Looks like a puncture wound of some sort.
A nice puncture? Was that like an oxymoron or something? Anyway, there were certainly some lighter moments.
Easier said than done.
And she's managing to evade inside quite well.
It's the penguin moonwalk. Overall, it was an interesting little programme, though Lorraine basically just added a name to proceedings, doing little more than the voiceover. She was only on 3 links in South Africa. She may as well have been in a local sea life centre. Now we move on to BBC Breakfast. Yes, you weren't expecting that, were you? No, that's because we've got to give our Nutter of the Week award to Thomas, who was a guest on Monday's show.
But if changing careers or even emigrating aren't enough of an escape, how about living as a goat?
I've not made this up, this is an actual story.
Yes, this was the story of Thomas Thwaites, who through the use of prosthetics has decided to find out what it would be like to live as a goat.
And actually the front legs, the prosthetics, were made by a clinician, a doctor, up in Salford University, Dr. Glyn Heath, and, you know, I emailed him. He's, you know, normally makes kind of prosthetics for people, you know, who need them.
What a great use of money that was.
The dream, you know, was to kind of gallop at the beginning of the project. It was like, I just want to kind of gallop and just be free. The reality, however, is, you know, we're highly evolved to kind of be upright, you know, walking creatures, and goats are highly evolved to be kind of quadrupeds that can kind of, you know, just dance down a mountainside like it's nothing.
Basically, what you're saying is that humans have got 2 legs and goats have got 4. That's pretty much what you're saying there.
Are you going to try something with a different animal? Are you going to
Well,
be Hippo Man or?
Well, don't give him ideas.
Thomas, it's been a real pleasure to meet you. Thank you very much indeed. And you'll be given funding as well by the Wellcome Trust. So thank you.
What, given funding?
Thomas's book is called, it's fascinating, it's called Goat Man, How I Took a Holiday from Being Human.
Goat Man, brilliant. I've actually got his books here, actually. He's got a bit of a trilogy out. Yeah, he's written a couple of others. I've been and bought them, actually. I've got the first one there, Goat Man, obviously. I took a holiday from being human. Yeah, that's a good start there. He's actually written a second volume, Making an Ass of Myself, the story of my time as a human donkey. Yeah, that's a good one. Quite similar there in size as well. And then this was a hefty tome. It took him a while to write this one. You Make Your Own Cluck, Getting a Job as Mick the Bright Yellow Chick. Yeah, just thought he'd go up in terms of the intellectual merit of that one. But yeah, they really do make a lovely set.
Thanks.
Beautifully written as well. Thank you very much for that, Thomas.
Great read. Now, over on Sunday Brunch, they're having a look at some vegan foods with top comic and committed vegan Sarah Pascoe. However, I can't say that their vegan butter appealed.
Next we have vegan butter. So again, this is actually quite simple to
tea
make at home.
Cheese was also on offer, or a vegan version of, but our expert was struggling to explain the taste of it.
And it's basically, it comes in flakes, and it has this, you know, like the umami taste.
No one knows what umami tastes like at all. Umami is no more well known as a taste than George Osborne is as a professional wrestler.
Although the Chancellor is a great name for a wrestler.
Meanwhile, Tim Lovejoy's interviewing technique just gets better and better.
You've written your first book, the autobiography of a female body.
You just read your first title.
Yeah, I did.
Because you really struggled.
I was struggling, yeah.
Oh yeah, He really is asking all the hard-hitting questions.
What do you mean evolve? From when?
From
From the beginning of time?
Yeah.
Oh.
Professional as ever. Just like Piers Morgan, who was asking his questions in his usual sensitive manner over on Good Morning Britain this week.
You shouldn't be alive, should you?
I was very lucky.
5 years old, you were run over by a truck and it nearly killed you.
Yes, and you know, almost lost my legs and things. So I have a pretty cavalier attitude to personal safety.
And he was equally complimentary about Catherine Jenkins.
Tell us about last night. How special was it?
Come on, Weirdo. What was last night like?
Absolutely amazing.
Now, what would you say in that preview bit at the start of your show to keep your viewers interested?
With unprecedented access, this programme will show just how hard it can be to find the best bottoms in the land.
Blimey? No, not really. This was The Best Bottoms in the Land, a special local programme documenting amateur actors joining forces with professional actors to put on a special performance of A Midsummer Night's Dream to celebrate 400 years since the death of Shakespeare. Despite it being about acting, though, the show certainly lived up to the title in terms of innuendos.
As the amateur with the biggest part, Chris is whisked straight into rehearsals.
And they didn't stop there.
We're a bit more likely to go for the rough and ready group.
Yeah, we like the rough.
We'll see.
We like we like a bit of rough.
Or there.
Erica's particularly keen to work with Chris as the leading man and asks him to perform some King Lear.
In fact, I couldn't quite believe it when this woman started seemingly talking about her bowel movements.
And for a while you can forget about it, going about your everyday business. Then all of a sudden you get it in the pit of your stomach and you think, something really special's happening to me and I'm so lucky. And that's how it feels. It's a dream come true.
She wasn't the only one this week either. Matt Allwright on new BBC daytime quiz The Code was at it as well. Just be thankful with comments like this that he's not hosting Deal or No Deal.
Is there a number 2 in the third box?
Okay.
There, that's fine.
It was everywhere. This guy was even displaying tips for the toilet on his shirt.
Very special.
Not really. This was our eventual bottom winner from the Midlands. And he decided to have a practice with a bit of an unusual audience.
I have had a dream. Far past the wit of any man to say what my dream was. Methought I had. But there is no man can tell me what my dream was.
Tough crowd. Anyway, this was a gem of a programme, and it looked like the whole cast had had a cracking time putting it on.
Oh, kiss me for the old...
And that's almost it for this week. We'll leave you with our 24/7 anthem.